Bob here, Chopper Bob Customs, hoping that you're all having a great Memorial Day. So thankful for those that were willing to sacrifice their own lives so that we could live in freedom. Thank you so much, and we pray that we are worthy of that sacrifice. But today I am doing some work on the 58. Got it right here behind me. Starting off handheld this morning, so take your Dramamine. What I'm working on today a little bit is just some odds and ends. I'm supposed to have parts coming tomorrow, so my plan is Wednesday pull the engine, put the fuel lines in, and put the replacement engine back in there, the 383 that's going in there, so that hopefully I can get things rolling. The radiator is part of what I'm working on today, and that's one of the things that we have moved out. Part of the reason is we looked at what it was going to cost to have that oddball cross-flow radiator cleaned, and the truth of the matter is I could get it's actually an aluminum replacement radiator for the 58 Chevrolet. It's got more cooling power than the original 58 Chevrolet radiator. And so what we're hoping is that with the electric fan, the shroud that I'm going to build for it, that it'll be sufficient. If not, at least I'll have cleared the way for putting a bigger, better radiator in it. And that's what I'm about to show you. What I'm going to be working on right now is that for whatever reason, they went with this aluminum cross-flow radiator. And when they did, they welded this angle iron in here. And I don't know whether, let me see if I can get in there close so you can see the welds. I'm hoping that it's not going to take a whole lot of effort to get this out. Depends on whether they actually made good penetration with any of that, for lack of a better term, bird crap weld that they put in there. But they put a lot of it in there, so we're going to be grinding that out and seeing if I can't get this bar out of here. And once I get this bar out of here, I think they didn't damage any of the rest of it, so that's good. It's still got the original mounting holes with the original threaded inserts in it. So the replacement radiator, which is designed to bolt right in a 58 Chevrolet car, should just bolt right in. Some of the advantages are it is new. It's not full of mud like the old one is, and it's got the petcock, so you don't have to pull the lower hose off to get it to dump the water out of it. It's going to make servicing it a whole lot easier. And it is bigger. The core is a lot bigger than that one that we're pulling out. So with all of that, the only really downside to it is a downflow radiator, which tends to not quite cool as good as the cross flows. However, I think if he runs a 180 or a 192 thermostat in it so that the water gets held up in the, or not water, coolant, gets held up in the radiator for a period of time so the fan can act on it and draw the heat away from it, I think he's going to be okay. As I said, if not, I'm going to have it set up so we can come in here at a later date and cut away some of this opening and put a much larger crossflow in it. Crossflows are good, but there's no point in putting a smaller core crossflow in place of a larger core downflow radiator, in my opinion. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this, get the camera set up, and let you see some sparks. Okay, so what you haven't seen me do is, of course, I've removed the radiator, removed the transmission cooler and the fan, which were attached to the radiator with the zip ties, and we're going to see what we can do to eliminate all of that as well. And then I've gone ahead and pulled the tray that they had bolted down there that was full of transmission fluid from the cooler, and I've removed the battery and the plastic battery tray that they bolted in where the stock battery tray is supposed to go. So what I'm going to do now is actually what I'm going to do is go get my safety glasses and I'll be back. Right then, I've got my safety glasses on. They're actually the same lenses as my regular glasses, but they've got more protection on the side, top and bottom. You want to protect those eyes. And when you're doing work like this, you're gonna get little bits of scratches and pits in your glasses. And since those are my regular reading glasses, I kind of need to keep them in good shape. So I don't want to be cutting with them out here. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get this weld cut back to the point where I can get this off of here. Okay, so the goal was to get this broke free while doing as little damage as possible to the original metal, and then hopefully that's going to make the other side break free easier. We shall see. I've moved the camera around to the other side. I don't know whether you can hear it or not, but we've got rain. And I tell you, we've needed it. There we go. And with a little cleanup from a flap wheel on an angle grinder, it'll be almost as good as new. So, I'm going to pause this and get the angle grinder set up. Okay, let's see if I can start a fire. Get some of this oil off of here. Transmission fluid, I think primarily. The biggest reason is I don't want it clogging up the flap disc, which it will if you try and clean this up. And I've cleaned this kind of thing up. I have a flap wheel that's getting a little bit old, and I'm in a hurry, and this will still probably gum it up a little bit because I didn't get it perfectly clean, but let's see what we can do with it. On your combine, and this is the only way you can get your weed in, go ahead and do this. But if you're working on a high-end car like this, and that's all the better welding you can do, take my advice, get out your drill 4 holes, put 4 bolts in it, hold it together. It will be just fine. You don't have to weld everything together, particularly if you don't know what you're doing. I'm not the best welder. I mean, I can tell you I'll go from idiot to genius to idiot in about 4 seconds, but at the end of the day, I know my limitations, and I know where I can put a weld in and it'll look good, and I know where I can put a weld in and it'll look terrible, and the latter I'll take and drill holes and put bolts in to hold it together. Bolts work just fine, but I mean, you need to practice your welding, but don't do it on a high-end car like this. Alright, this one's a little bit cleaner, so here we go. And the sparks won't be coming up in my face on this one, I don't think. So I better clean it. Touch-up welding on this one over here when I get the engine out. Get in there with my MIG. I got a little deep into here. It's really probably just cosmetic, but and then I got into here. That's a little bit more than cosmetic, but don't want to crack form in there. Don't want to crack form in there. So I'll go in there, just run a quick bead through there, fill this hole up a little bit, try and flush, and it will be good. I mean, and probably when I'm doing it, I'll probably go ahead and see if I can't clean this up a little better. The problem is getting in there with the cut-off wheel and the grinder is very, very difficult. So, at any rate, but that's got that taken care of for now. Until I get the engine out, that's where it's going to stay. With the radiator ready to be installed, I think the last thing that I need to do before I can get in here and make the fuel lines fit the car, and I don't have to do it, but it will make it a lot easier if I take this tailpipe, actually the entire exhaust system, off of the driver's or passenger side of the car. And for whatever reason, instead of using clamps, they actually welded two hangers back here to the pipe. So I'm going to have to do some cutting, and I think the rest of it, yeah, I've got two clamps up at the front, well, one clamp here at the axle and then one clamp halfway back. So if I get through these welds, and they've got a hanger right here, and then they got a hanger right on the other side of it. So they're within 5 inches of each other, and I don't know why they had to have all of those hangers on there. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut welds. One of the unique features of these X-frame Chevrolets is that they run the exhaust on the outside of the frame rail. It's a rather unique arrangement that they have that kind of limits what size exhaust you can put on it. He is hoping that Steve can put some 3-inch exhaust on it. I'm not sure whether 3 inches is going to work on this or not, but we will see. We will see. And now this last one you're not going to be able to see, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and go take care of it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got it out. I will probably, I think I'm going to have to start putting stuff up on the trailer just because I've got too much stuff in the shop. Okay, so it's hot and humid here. I'm kind of wet. I think I'm going to put everything up and call it a day. I've got to run down and get some MDF for that big project that I've been telling you about. It's going to be coming here before too long, so keep your eyes out. That's why you need to like, comment, subscribe, get notifications. Please go out there and smash that subscribe button. And like I said, leave me some comments. I haven't heard from hardly any of you guys. What I've heard has been good. I appreciate it, but I like hearing from you. I mean, I'm hoping that you're getting something out of these videos. If you're not, tell me that, and I'll stop doing them. But basically, right now I'm waiting on some parts. I got that fuel, I got that gas, got that exhaust pipe out of the way. The only thing that I could do that would make it better would be to take the body off the frame, but I'm not going to do that for a fuel line. I can make it work. I can get in there and make it happen. So that's going to be the next thing that you're going to be seeing, is installing the two 3/8 fuel lines. It is going to have to be two lines. I got to looking at the line that I thought was 3/8, grabbed a 5/16 wrench and slid it over it, and it slid right over it. So it's 5/16 line. So I'm going to have to pull it out and replace it with 3/8 return line and then a 3/8 supply line. So as soon as that gets here, the plan is to get out here in the morning after I have the parts that I'm supposed to have, pull the engine, put the fuel lines in, get them all taken care of, and then drop the 383 in it. And hopefully I can get that done in a day. You'll be watching it here on video. All you have to do is subscribe. And beyond that, thanks for watching. Appreciate all the comments that I do get. Please leave more. And Chopper Bob out.